Welcome back everyone to another Rise of Kingdoms video. This is the first one of 2025 and I'm so glad to be back playing Rise of Kingdoms. I've had such a great time so far in the last few weeks since I've started up again. We had a nice stream last Monday. I gotta tell you, a couple things drove me towards doing this. I had a bunch of friends reach out to me over the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, just telling me, hey, there's a lot of new updates in Rise of Kingdoms that you might want to check out. A lot of quality of life changes, a lot of battle changes. The game is different based on some of the mechanics that they brought out. A lot of the fighting is a lot more smooth and clean. Sure enough, they did not lie. This game has definitely updated since I last played. I'll of course be playing with my account that I started 6 years ago. I've got an older account that needs some updating. And you know, Rise of Kingdoms has always kind of held a special place in my heart. It's a game that I've met so many friends that I feel like I'm going to have lifelong friendships with. And also, the game itself is one of the most dedicated games that I've played in quite some time. While playing this game, I've seen my family expand by 2 children. I've seen a lot of changes happen. And now we've got a new transition in my life where we're going to be transitioning out of our current home and going to find a nice piece of land to start our new homestead farm on. And I definitely want to link Rise of Kingdoms with that new journey as well with you. So if you're interested in joining in with me on this new journey, make sure you click the link below and download the game and restart up your account. Rejoin me. We'll figure out together where we're going to be at, whether that's where I'm at now or whether that's going to be in a different kingdom. We'll see in just a little bit. But this is going to be a good experience for us to get reconnected back together. Tons of content coming for you. But this video is really going to be about making sure we get reacquainted with Rise of Kingdoms and all the different things that have happened over the last year and a half that I've been gone. And then also showcasing the most recent updates, which you cannot miss. You cannot avoid these. Even if you're not playing full time, do not miss these updates. New civilization, new commander, commander swap. That's what we're going into right now. Of course, one of the biggest and newest updates to Rise of Kingdoms is right in front of you. We have a new civilization, the Mayan civilization. We'll go over that in a little bit. We have a new cavalry commander, King Arthur. He's the first commander with combo damage, which is a massive skill change in Rise of Kingdoms. And then finally, we have a commander swap. It's been 6 years since I've been playing Rise of Kingdoms, and I can finally swap out my Edward. Or maybe I'll do a gold key commander to Arthur. Or maybe I'll do Leonidas to Herman Prime. But these are 3 events that are available for you right now in game. You've got the Cycle of Ha'ab. This is for the Mayan Civilization rewards and events. You have King Arthur debuts. Of course, the King Arthur is, again, the latest and greatest cavalry commander that's out as of right this second. And then we have the legendary commander swap, which, again, you can swap up to 2 commanders. So you can swap some of your older commanders for some of the latest generation meta commanders. Speaking of Arthur, here he is right here. There's been tons of other changes that have happened since I've left. I want to jump into a few of those with you right now. First and foremost, let's look at the KvKs. So before it was really like 3 or 4 KvKs. You had Heroic Anthem, Strike for the 8, but now you have all these different ones. You've got King of All Britain, which seems to be pretty popular. Warriors Unbound is a new one as well. I know the Stratagems, the Storm of Stratagems one's pretty popular too. There's Tides of War, which is a remaster. You have King of the Nile. You've got Siege of Orleans, extending more and more into different activities that you can do as a kingdom, as an alliance inside of a kingdom, organizing yourselves to do battle. And that's obviously one of the best things of this game that you can do, is do these massive, huge fights, which again, we will start showcasing on a regular basis on the channel going forward. Again, I do want to talk about the museum really quick as well. When I came back into the game, I was assuming that I was going to need to really heavily rely on the museum buffs for some of my older commanders that I had maxed to try and compensate for having left for so long, to see if maybe I can still use my maxed out commanders from 2 years ago in today's battles. And not only has this worked out really well, but they've expanded a lot of the commanders. So you can see, for instance, YSG here, he not only has his relic, but he's got 3 levels of his relic. So the maximum buff for him now is 20% archer defense and 12% skill damage increase. You've got a double buff for Minamoto, you've got a double buff for Mehmed, you've got a triple buff for Charles Martel, you've got a double buff now for Alexander, which I need to start working on because he's part of somewhat of an infantry meta still. Attila is in here, who is still part of the meta from what I understand. You've got Guan Yu in here. If you spent all your exhibit coins and your relic coins, you can go back and salvage. So I had spent everything I had because that's all that was available. So I figured I might as well use them, right? Now there's tons to use it on and I don't have anything. So what I needed to do was I actually salvaged Genghis Khan and I salvaged Double C. You can see right here, I'd have to unlock him again. So I salvaged it. All you got to do is go into the commander, and on the bottom left, which you can barely see, it says salvage, and all you gotta do is click that and you can get back 70 of your exhibit coins. Now you can't do it for everybody. So for instance, we have Ethelfled here. She has no salvage, but most of them you can do it with. So that's a great way to kind of get a jump start. Now, I was looking for events to get those things without having to buy bundles, and sure enough, one popped up literally the next day. Overwhelming strength. You've got this one here. All you gotta do is gain power, and you can get 100 exhibit coins and 200 relic coins. So this hopefully pops up on the regular. Get this quite a bit. Now, I was also told in the stream, you can go and during pre-KvK, there's tons of ways to get a ton of these coins as well. So looking forward to jamming those up and getting some more of my older legendary commanders back up to snuff somewhat. They're obviously not ultra meta, but competitive, right? Some other cool quality of life changes. As you can see, this is regular home kingdom. We have level 8 logging camp, level 8 gathering nodes. So a little bit more friendly to gather your resources. Very, very nice there. I have only seen level 2 gem nodes, but I might be just missing level 3s. Maybe there are some level 3s on here. I'm not 100%, but either way, I've just been gathering pretty casually for the last like week and a half or so, and I've already gotten almost 500 million resources. So very, very strong gathering capability here. Help you in fighting and things like that. Of course, continue to have your farms and all that good stuff, but this is a great way to make the game a little bit easier for you to play without it necessarily feeling like a job. Also, you can see level 39, level 40 barbarians in the home kingdom. Another great way, again, to get extra XP and not have to worry about waiting to KvK to get to the level 55 stuff. Having level 40 is a little bit more on par with how the game is right now as far as how advanced it is and how much you can do in the game. You need to have this level of barbs and this level of resources available to support the fighting and all the things that you need to do in the game to have fun. And just so you know, the new Mayan Civilization bonuses are all types of normal damage plus 3%, archer defense plus 5%, and gold gathering speed plus 10%. That's pretty darn strong. The key component of that Mayan Civilization is that it is all types of normal damage, which includes ranged. That's all you should be gathering right now is gold. So having that gold gather speed bonus of 10% is pretty substantial, especially if this is for farms. This might be the new best farm gathering civilization. And then certainly the fighting bonuses warrant an archer commander player to take a look at the Mayan Civilization. The final thing I want to talk about is armaments. So this is obviously the next evolution of the game. This is where you can really start to specialize and coordinate your particular marches to what you want to do. Do you want to be a massive damage dealer? Do you want to be a player that is massively buffing and debuffing on the field? Well, there's a formation for that. You want to be able to be the fastest marches on the field. There's a formation for that. Do you want to be the tankiest? There's formations for that. Do you want to deal the most damage when people are hitting you? Formation for that. So you're going to be able to really specialize who you are and what you are with what you have on the battlefield with armaments. So this is something that I'm going to have to devote an enormous amount of time to coming back into Rise of Kingdoms, because this is something that was just starting to take off when I left. I'm behind on this. This is something I need to jump into. I've got some things, as you can see on the screen, but it's definitely not enough, and they're definitely not up to par with what I'm used to using. Make sure we're putting a lot of effort and time into armaments and making sure we're coordinating that with what we want to do on the battlefield, which, in my opinion, is group fight stuff. So I want to cause damage, I want to buff my allies, I want to debuff my targets. That's going to be my main thing. So again, making sure that I align my armaments to my marches to do those tasks. That's what's going to be key here. For those of you that need to migrate as well. There's evidently a mechanism in the game now where alliances are not charged for a weekly passport page for you. So as long as you can get a hold of 600,000 alliance credits, you'll be able to buy for free, not to you, but to the alliance, one passport page, and they can't deny this to you. You get this regardless. So you can constantly buy this one page every single week, and you'll be able to migrate if you need to, and you'll be able to do what you need to do. There's tons more new features in the game that I haven't gotten to yet. We're going to get into those as I start to stream and make videos again for Rise of Kingdoms, which is going to happen. I hope you guys are ready for all this stuff coming your way. I am in transition still from moving and selling my home, but we are going to be getting set up at our new spot in just a few days, and in that time you'll start to see more content coming out and more fights happening in Rise of Kingdoms. I've already been invited to some KvK watching parties to be able to showcase for you guys, so looking forward to bringing that to you. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video today, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing you guys in the future. Cheers, have a good one, and take care.